Okay then, Raiders, we are back and we've got loads to go over today as we've just released the brand new patch update for the Shrouded Sky 1.17.0, and this one is a huge one, including an array of balance changes, which means that a lot of things have been nerfed in here, including the Stitcher, the Kettle, and even the Venator. We have got some buffs in here as well as some more information with things that we didn't know about yesterday. So many bug fixes and updates that we have got to bring to your faces. So we're going to dive on into it. If you haven't already, smash the like button and subscribe with post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. We've got to give away for a free copy of the game, or if you've already got it, then we've got a Raider tokens to go instead. If you want to get involved with that, very simple, head down to the comment section and put in any coloured love heart you like. But really quickly, before we get into it, let's say thank you to our sponsor. This video is sponsored by War Thunder, one of the most in-depth vehicle combat games ever made, and is now available for free on PC, consoles, and iOS and Android. You can take command of over 2,500 tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships in 10 major nations, ranging from biplanes and armored cars, tanks, and so much more, all ranging from the 1920s to the fighter jets and main battle tanks of today as well. You'll be able to immerse yourself in the intense combat of War Thunder, where you'll have ridiculously detailed graphics that you can then utilize for customization. And boy, do they have an in-depth customization. War Thunder features a comprehensive customization system with countless camouflages, historical markings, and so many different decorations for all of your vehicles, which include created ones by the community. And this game isn't just any old game. You'll be able to join a community of over 95 million players in some intense PvP battles and be able to delve into breathtaking experiences in the War Thunder ability, both on console, PC, and even on your mobile devices. This is high quality content to discover, and there's simply no better game suited for those military history fans. So what are you waiting for? Head down to the links in the description, click onto it, and download War Thunder now. Available for new and returning players over 6 months, where you'll be able to get hold of some really cool new items, including premium vehicles, boosters, renting certain vehicles for a few days, plus you'll also be able to have the Eagle of Valor decoration and 10 backups. So head down to the links in the description and download it now. Thank you for holding in for that one. I appreciate it. We got to keep the lights on. So with that being said, let's dive into the game and take a look at what it is you guys can receive. So before we get into the patch notes, we're going to showcase everything to you guys that you obviously want to see. Starting off with the store update, we have got the new Valere set, and this thing looks exactly as I wanted it to. It looks glorious. Even the boots and the bottom half doesn't look rubbish. We've all been there with numerous skins, so I know. But this one looks absolutely glorious. With 3 different color variations, you guys can obviously switch those in and out. The backpack that you've got attached on your waistline, you can then take off. The helmet has got 4 different variations of on, just the goggles, off, and then the visor up, which does look pretty damn cool, that's for sure. The jacket, you can take the hood on and off. And then we've got the pauldrons that you can obviously take on and off via the shoulder. Looks quite cool with the rope around the waistline. Also, for me personally though, having it all on with the red hood, my lord, I'm going to be running this one till the cows come home. This is 1,600 for the total bundle. And then if you guys want the backpack, you can obviously get that individually for 600. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. We move on from that though. We have also got a few other sets that we need to look at. We've got the curly short hair, which is new. If you guys are into the curly short hair, that looks pretty damn cool. That's 500 Raider tokens for that one though. Quite a spenny venture if you ask me. As well as the stubble beard, which obviously we're going to dive into the rest of that in a moment, but that is 500 Raider tokens as well. Now you can obviously change the color of the beard to the limited colors that we have on here, but yeah, that is now available as beards are now fully unlocked. Other than that though, nothing else to really report on top of that. Everything else is pretty damn old. In terms of the decks, we've now got the Surgeon deck. A lot of you guys saw this one in play yesterday, but the details of this one are quite interesting, as the skin itself is a lot worse than what you actually originally thought. It looks okay, I guess, if you're into that colorization thing, but overall, this Raider deck probably wasn't as impressive to me as I thought it would be. The Surgeon hat does look pretty cool on Scrappy, but other than that, I don't think much of it has really swayed me at all, bar the full beard, which resides at the end screen of the total Raider deck. So make sure you get playing the game, as this is a free Raider deck. You can obviously unlock that. I know. My female looks glorious with the Surgeon outfit and the beard attached. It's just wild, my dude. It's wild. On top of that, though, we've got a load of new missions that are obviously coming up, new quests for you guys to do. You can just click in and go ahead and do those. Obviously, it's really heavily dependent on what it is that you're actively doing inside of the game anyway, what ones you've actually got done already. The project that we have is the weather monitor system. This one is now unlocked as well, and you can just go in and start that. We have got the backpack charm for the anemometer, and then the new cosmetic points. So we've got the Raider tokens as well. You can start that off, and you're first off going to need to be able to utilize plastic parts, metal parts, arc alloys, and oil. And if you guys want to know what the second one is going to be, we can see right here that this is going to have a snitch scanner. We are going to have wires attached to this one. We've also got the sensors that you can put into there as well, and then the comet igniter. Now, for those of you guys who don't know what the comet igniter is, it's coming from this bad boy you can see on screen. This is the brand new enemy type that is knocking around. You will see one throughout the gameplay in the background, but this is a brand new enemy type before we move into the next few pages. Very, very simple, very cool indeed, and hopefully you guys enjoy going and getting those as well. As to what it is that's at the end of this, I have no idea, but the area at least looks pretty damn cool, that's for sure, as we're going to see that in the bottom corner of the pod system. Overall, pretty cool. I am actually relatively happy with the way that the update resides right now. I think that we're going to have an exciting time period, but we need to dive into the patch notes and show you guys exactly what we have over there. And really quickly, they seem to have learnt their lesson when they've launched these new map conditions. So at the point of recording, it won't be there now, but what will be there is the movement for blue gates, but we have got hurricane initiated straight off the gate. I would like to think that after this one, there's likely to be another one popping up somewhere else, but the main hurricane map event is now going to be available across your table. So get on the game and go ahead. It looks incredible. But starting off, we've got loads to go over, as this is going to be a wild one. With the patch highlights to pretty much give you guys an overall if you don't want to watch the full video. They've got right here the weapon balancing for the Stitcher, Kettle, Venator, Jupiter, Aphelion. They are some wild changes, I'm not going to lie. They've added a piano as an interactable object in the world, which you may have seen in the background gameplay already. They've prevented enabling all NVIDIA freestyle filters simultaneously to remove an unfair visual advantage. Feats can now be re-rolled 3 times per day if you feel free to. They've removed PvP feats and updated a few existing feats and added some new ones as well. Zip lines can no longer be placed on carryable objects, and mines, traps, or remote flares can no longer be placed on with deployables. So overall, quite a funny one if I'm completely honest. This is going to be a very interesting one, that's for sure. When we look at the feats though, you can see right here on the Dex page that we can now re-roll them, where you can complete 1 feat, 3 feats, 5 feats, and then you can obviously re-roll that as it runs through. Very, very clever, very, very good, and I'm glad that they've now issued that one in there. Giving it a bit more detail though, weapon balancing has been a wild one. They state in here that in the 1.13 we shipped an update that included an optimization fix for our weapons, but as many of you noticed, this has been unforeseen consequence for lowering the total fire rate of semi-automatic weapons, and in 1.13.1 we reverted the fix, but something else made it into the update that shouldn't have. Many of you reported the shadow buff to the weapons, and after investigating it, we found that the update had inadvertently impacted our weapon input buffers, where previously you would have to time your inputs to the intended cadence of the weapon to reach its full potential. You could now instead spam click the button and effectively bypassing the skill requirement. They have now obviously adjusted that. To address it, they've had to land in some sort of middle ground, so it will make it a little bit better for those of you guys who want to pace your shots. You're going to see a lot better results, but you can obviously still spam click and utilize it that way. In addition to those, they've also been looking into the balance between low level tier and high tier weapons. A lot of people have expressed concern with some of the low tier weapons, and there has been obviously a bit of a movement with the higher tier weapons, so they've altered some of those. With the Stitcher, we can see right here that they've reduced their headshot multiplier from 2.5 to 1.75, reduced the base damage from 7 to 6.5, and increased per shot disperse by around 50%, making it bloom a lot faster, essentially making it feel a lot more like an SMG, where it can just really hit that big bloom output, making it a little bit more viable at closer range rather than longer range. The reason for that was because the headshot damage was just off the Richter scale, and it made it a lot easier for the time to kill with a Stitcher, meaning that it was essentially just completely overpowered. The Kettle, this right here, people were using it as an SMG, okay? We know full well that that's how it worked, and they know that by reducing the base damage, it would bring the time to kill more in line with where it should be, but they're keeping the headshot multiplier as it was. So we've got a reduced base damage from 10 to 8.5, reducing it by 1.5 total, bringing it a little bit down, and hopefully we won't see a massive deduction in that, but we'll see exactly how that one plays. On top of that, we've got a Venator nerf. Yet again, they've reduced the headshot multiplier by from 2.5 to 2 and reduced the base damage from 9 to 8, mainly because it's the highest performing weapon in the game right now, and for this weapon, this tier, they want it to perform well, but maybe not as well as it should do, and make it so that the purples and the golds then become a little bit more prevalent. If it doesn't work right, they may need to look into the ammo consumption and cost efficiency overall, but they have hit that one with a nerf as well. So 3 big nerfs to 3 big PvP weapons. Then we've had some buffs going into the PvE weapons, the Jupiter. And they're essentially trying to make it more prevalent in PvP, as the Jupiter does the most headshot damage in the game if you do hit it, but it's really difficult to hit and it leaves you wide open. So they've improved the ADS magnification from 1.9 to 2.2, and the equip time and the unequip time have then been reduced, so it's faster to put it away and take it out. Essentially, this could not leave you open as such, and it could mean that you can follow up on your shot after that, making it easier to swap to the secondary weapon. Overall, quite a very interesting play, that's for sure. And with the Aphelion, it's actually interesting, as the last balance that they add to it intended for the weapon to become more PvP orientated rather than PvE, but they've now had to change it again to make it feel less bulky and a bit more nimble so that you guys can utilize it in PvP. They've reduced the base reload time from 4.5 to 3.5. They've reduced the time between shots from 0.9 to 0.7, reduced the vertical recoil by CA 50%, and they've reduced that ADS settle speed by 35% as well. Essentially, take this in for a PvP run. You never know, this thing may actually drill out the way that you want it to. There has been an array of different item and crafting costs changing. There's so much actually in there. We're going to put them up on screen, including the Deadline, the Trailblazer, the Wolfpack, the Vita Spray, the Showstopper, and then Arc Parts sell value has been reduced to better reflect their crafting progress uses. This is an interesting one, as things like the Showstopper, they've added the Hornet driver, and things like the Wolfpack, they've added the Rocketeer driver. So we've got a bit more inside of the Arc crafting material, so you actually need to take out Arc to be able to craft these things, meaning that you can essentially not just do PvP to be able to get them. You need to be able to utilize Arc material to be able to do that, meaning that you have to use the PvE aspects a little bit more. Overall, quite a decent change, although I wish that they would stop messing around so much with what it takes to craft things. I don't know about you, but it just becomes like a blueprint in my own mind. So it's becoming a little bit frustrating, but I'm really glad that they're making some positive changes, at least, as we've had a lot of nerfs inside of this. Now, this article is absolutely ginormous, so we are going to give you guys the more important areas of things rather than giving you guys absolutely everything. I'll leave the link down in the description if you guys want to go and see it, obviously, but they have had a lot of content and bug fixes, including achievements, animations, and some of the arcs, such as the Fires and Fireballs, could open permanently before stabilizing, so on and so forth. These are really minor things, but they are things that some of you guys may have had to go up against, such as the Rocketeer sometimes would not shoot despite having a clear view on his targets. Just tiny little aspect changes that you will feel inside of the game, including the bug fixes for audios, and we've also got an array of cosmetics, which one of them that you may well have known about was the Marco set we received recently. There was meant to be 2 different color variations. This was what this one was meant to look like. For the green variation, it was meant to have no glass on it at all. It was just meant to be a white visor. So we've now got that variation in play, which looks pretty cool, although I don't know how our raider is seeing. I'm just saying. Obviously, there was a load of fixes with regards to the NVIDIA freestyle filters simultaneously, like being able to remove the unfair visual advantages. That's what they've now fixed as well. And all of the clips that you guys have been seeing with zip lines attached to batteries and there being mines attached to the end of them, well, that's all now been fixed as well. They can't do that. It was funny while it lasted, ladies and gents, okay? It was funny while it lasted, but they've now rectified it. A load of map fixes, but some changes that you guys will want to know about. Buried City, they changed the rarity in terms of loot for the chimneys on the Bird City map condition. I mean, it's not like that the only reason we were going in there was to farm for cash anyway, because yes, those ducks cost a lot of money, but there are obviously some changes that they've made to that one, so you can now obviously can't go ahead and do that so much. They have reduced the amount that you guys can now get from those damn chimneys. On Stellamontes, they fixed multiple collision issues for things like the prevention of players being able to reach out of bounds areas, and they've also adjusted the nighttime lighting, so there's like a load of lighting adjustments inside of the dark. Low-grade issues, but what the big thing was is that they fixed the glitches so that they can no longer get out of the map. That was quite a big factor, and I'm glad they changed it. In terms of Blue Gate, they've improved the thunderstorm lighting for better visual clarity, and they fixed an issue where players could get out of bounds on the Blue Gate tunnels. For those of you guys who didn't know about that, yes, that was a very, very big problem, that's for sure. In terms of all of the changes, though, there are a few ones. One of the biggest ones I quite liked in terms of progression is that the candleberries in Blue Gate now count towards the Harvest Plants trial. I'm bloody glad, man. man. Those candleberries needed to have counted from the bloody get-go, but they are now working. So yes, all of that sorted. Socials, UIs, utilities, VFX changes, such as where the Jupiter's wind-up visual could face sideways, just a load of bloody fixes. And then we get onto the anti-cheat. This one's a big statement. It states right here via the anti-cheat bracket in, when we shared our last update about tackling unfair play, we didn't fully convey the complexity of scale of what was going to be in the cheat detection. Our defenses operate on multiple levels. Some checks were simple and definitive, others are behavioral and data driven and evolve over time. We also leverage broad gameplay telemetry and machine learning techniques to spot patterns that aren't obvious at first glance. These methods take longer to develop, must adapt as game systems change, and we don't always offer instant certainty the way blunt software detections can. Their dedicated anti-cheat team works tirelessly to keep the game fair. It is all ongoing and it's a continuous fight, and they are committed to making sure that it works correctly. So make sure that you just keep your eyes open with things and make sure you're reporting things when you see that they shouldn't be doing what they're doing. That's all I'm going to say. Overall, this article is ginormous. There was a lot missed, but they are all small, tiny details. I've just given you guys the run through of the biggest part. Hopefully it was good enough. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, reward the video with a like button and subscribing. And we are going to be live throughout the stream. And we are going to be live throughout the day. So please make sure you jump on in. It'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks again for watching, guys. Like, subscribe. And as always, I'll see you in the clouds. And again, make sure you check out War Thunder now. Use the links to sign up and get a massive free bonus pack of PC and consoles via the links in the description. Available for new and returning players over 6 months. There is a mobile link separated to the PC links. Download War Thunder now.